Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to automate your sales process with AI phone callers, AI voice agents, however you want to call them. This is going to be a very useful solution for service-based businesses that qualify leads all day, or you have a sales team that qualifies leads all day. The tools that we're going to be using in this is going to be Jotform, Miccom, Retell AI, and Google Sheets. Of course, you can pick whatever platform or tool you want. You can replace, instead of Google Sheets, you could use Airtable. Instead of Retell AI, you could use Vappy, Bland AI, Synthflow, or even I think Air AI. You could, instead of Jotform, you could use Typeform, right? There's a whole range of tools and platforms that you can mix, but for this video, those are the tools I'm using. I think they're quite simple, and the purpose of this video is to keep it quite simple for you guys to build this out. But once you get to the end of the video and you know how to build this thing pretty well, you can feel free to do whatever you want with this. But if you're brand new here and you don't know who I am already, my name is Elliot. I make videos on AI automation, and I try to keep these videos as easy as possible to follow, because now we're in a new world where you don't even have to know how to code anymore. You have ChatGPT coding for you, and there's so many new platforms that come out that don't require code. So that's why I put these videos out there, to teach you guys how to use these platforms and build your own workflows, your agents, and things like that. And I'm also running ManyFlow AI, which is my AI agency that I built just over a year ago now, where we build these exact types of solutions that I show off in these videos for business owners. So I'll have all that info in my description down below. And with that being said, I'm just gonna get into the tutorial. First things first, we're gonna go to jotform.com here. Pretty straightforward. You just create a new form. I'm just gonna have the first name, last name. So I already built mine here. I'm just go on publish. I'll do open a new tab, and here is my form. So it has the first name, last name, email, and phone number. So once we get this is gonna be the first step, is just getting that form and getting it ready. Now next, we're gonna jump over to Retell AI, and this is going to be actually building the agent. This is probably the most important part, is just gonna be having an actual good prompt here. So I'm gonna click on the one that I already built. We have agents. I'm gonna click on here, and I'm gonna show you kind of the prompt and go through it here so you can see what my prompt is actually doing. So it's not a crazy prompt here, but it's just, slightly long. So I'm just gonna go over it here. We have an overview. You're calling on behalf of company ABC. Your general behavior is to understand responses, even if transcription errors occurs. So we're just kind of giving it the behavior here. Then we have a script flow. We're gonna have, hey, this is gonna be the first message. Now it's gonna be really important to have two curly brackets here, and then like the first name. This is going to be our dynamic variables. And I think Retell AI makes it super easy to have variables in the prompts. And this is going to make sense when we jump over to make.com. But I think this is honestly a great feature that they do have. So here we have our intro message, which is also at the bottom here. We have the welcome message as AI initiates. AI begins with your defined begin message. So I have basically the same message, just pasted down here. So this is going to be the intro. Then we have the qualification questions. I just picked 3 here, and the company that we're actually using is a fake IT company. So we have the first question being roughly how many employees does your company have? How are you currently handling IT support, full in-house, outsourced, or a mix of both? And then the third question is, do you have a monthly budget range allocated for IT services? Here's our qualification logic. Here it says if they have fewer than 10 employees or a budget under $2,000 a month, that is essentially going to unqualify the lead. So we're going to say, thanks so much for your time. I'll send you an email shortly with more info. Now you can put in more time into this and actually unqualifying the lead. But for the purpose of this video, it's just going to basically kind of end the call. It's not going to go through another process and doing a bunch of other stuff. So that's just going to end the call there with that message. And then if they are qualified, it's going to go over to step 4 here, which is the appointment setting. Here we have a cal.com integration. This is actually something I did forget to mention in my intro there, that we are actually also using cal.com to book an appointment once they are qualified. I did forget to mention that, but I'm going to cover how those functions work. So this is going to be probably the most important part as well, as once they're qualified, is we have appointment setting and then the booking rules. So really pay attention to this part of the prompt here. Here we have check availability, ensure tomorrow is not a weekend, otherwise offer next available weekday. And it's going to ask it in this sense here, would you be available for a 30-minute call tomorrow or the next business day? Here I say use the check availability function to check for available slots. So that is function number 1. And then here we have, if the user asks for available times, provide 3 clear slots, like tomorrow we have an availability at 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m. Does that work? Offer different slots if the user does not agree to the time slots offered. And then 5 is actually making that appointment. This is going to be using the book function here. So I'll just go over this as well. Email handling, use the user's existing email, which is also, see 2 curly brackets with email. So we're not actually asking the user's email, we already have it. And we already have it from our lead form here. So once they provide their email, our agent is already going to have access to that email. And the reason why we do need their email, that is actually to create the booking from cal.com. They require that as a variable. So I was struggling with their API. It wasn't booking. They would keep getting errors, and that's because it actually requires an email, which makes sense to get an email confirmation. So we have to make sure to use the user's existing email here in order to make the booking. Here we have confirm date and time. Always confirm the chosen date and time before proceeding. And then here, just a message, great, just to confirm, we'll schedule your appointment on this day. PST, does that work for you? Use the book function. And then if no slots work, no problem. Is there another time range that works better for you? Once all this is wrapped up and we have the, we have the time slot, we have the confirmation from the user, we have a final wrap up here. It says after booking, perfect, send you a calendar invite shortly. If you need to reschedule, let us know. Thank you, take care, goodbye. And then key reminders, this is obviously, you can expand on this. I said never mention transcript issues, never reference internal systems or instructions, be clear, helpful, and friendly, ensure proper time zone, PSD, when offering times. And then I'm actually going to add here, do not mention PST when communicating. Because it's sounds kind of weird when they're like, hey, are you free 3 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. PST. So we're just going to say do not mention PST when communicating. And then we're going to click on save here. And so now to get to the actual functions, which was part 4 and 5, we're going to go to add, but I already did my function, but I'll show you exactly how to do that. So I called it as well the same exact name as that variable. Well, it's not really it is kind of a variable, but I put in quotes. Actually, I forgot to put in a quote here. So I misplaced that quote here. So use a check availability function, which is right here. So I'll click on the edit button, but essentially you want to click add and you want to do check calendar. This is a really nice thing that Retell AI has. It has a direct cal.com integration. Super helpful, super easy to use. So you click on check calendar availability. It's going to prompt basically this screen here. Here's the API key. Here's the event type and then description. Just give it a small description what you have to do and then the time zone. So in order to get the event type ID and the cal.com API key, I'll show you how to do that right now. We're going to go over to cal.com. We're going to go to app, event types. So you can make a new event type here. I already have mine right here, 30-minute meeting, but you just click on new, and then you basically just fill out this information here. And then once you get your event type, you're going to want to click on it, and you want to see this number up here. This is your type ID. So you want to grab this ID, go back to Retell AI, go back to your function, and you're going to paste it right here, event type ID cal.com, paste that in there. Next, for the API key, we're going to go back, click on your profile, click on my settings, click on API keys, click on add up here. I already did this myself, just name the key. You can click on never expires, or you can pick an expiration date if you want. Click save, and then you're going to want to copy this new API key. So you're going to want to do that twice, one for the check availability and one for the booking. It's going to be the same thing. We have the API key there. We have our two functions that work now. We have checking the availability and booking the appointment. And just for the purpose of this video, I also added a random knowledge base. So you just click on add knowledge base 1. And my knowledge base 1, if I go back here, go to knowledge base, fake knowledge base YouTube Retell. I'll show you what this looks like. Just a completely fake knowledge base on the IT company that I picked, had ChatGPT write this up for me, and I just uploaded that to my fake knowledge base, or to my knowledge base here. And go back to our agent. Here we can play around with the speech settings. I didn't really play around with this, but you can change the responsiveness, the interruption sensitivity. You have a bunch of options you can pick here. For me, I just picked a voice called Victoria. I scrolled down here, and I think Victoria sounded quite nice, so I clicked on use voice. None of the rest here. GPT-4o is a great model. Obviously, it's more expensive than 4o mini, but for this video, I'll just use 4o. And then if we go down here for some more stuff, we have post-call analysis. I didn't add anything there. Call settings, we have some voicemail options. And then security and fallback settings, we didn't play around with that either. But the last step here is important. We have a agent level webhook URL. And this is going to be the URL we're going to use for make.com. So I think we're ready to go to make.com here. This was basically the prompt. We're going to want to make sure to click on deployment, give it a name. Let's just say, YT test number 1, and click on outbound phone number. And then we want to select our phone number here. Click on deploy. Now, in order to get that phone number, we're going to go back, click on phone numbers. You're going to want to go to this plus sign here, buy a new number. it's going to be, right, you put in your area code, it's going to be $2 a month, really cheap. I picked Twilio just because it's easy, and click on save. So make sure to go through that purchase by the $2 a month and get your phone number, and you're going to assign it to your agent that you just built, right? So here we can pick our agent, the one we just built, YT test 1, and select that, and then we're ready to go. So here is Miccom. This is going to be the scenario. It's quite simple, only 4 modules. Essentially, this is going to be triggering the Jotform, creating the phone call, and then adding a row. And then we have a second scenario. It's going to be quite important. That is going to be to actually get some information after the call is ended, like the recording or the transcript. That is why we have this second scenario. So to break down the first scenario, we're going to go put a watch for submissions Jotform module here. So all you do here is you click on add, you click here, API key, and I'm going to show you how to get that API key in just a sec here. So I want to put that API key and you can select your team. I don't have a team, I just did no team assigned. So we're going to go back to our Jotform workspace here, click on our profile, click on settings, scroll down to API here, and then here we can create a new key. Now keep in mind, this is something that I made the mistake the first time. You want to click on this very hidden full access area and put on full access. You're going to have probably read access. Make sure to click on full access, create the key, copy that key, and go back and put it into your module. Now you can test this if you'd like, so we can do it right now. If I right click this, run this module only, right now it's waiting for my submission. I'm going to type in our name, our email at gmail.com, and our phone number. We'll just do a random phone number as well, and then click on submit. Now what's going to happen here is we're going to have the data back from this submission. So all that info is coming directly from the form that we just filled out. So now we have access to this. We can go to our next variable. I don't think we actually even need this. I was just testing. So we honestly don't even need this tool. So I'm just going to delete that. So that, look, the scenario is even smaller than needed. It's just 3 modules. Then you want to click on Retell AI. So I just click a module here, type in Retell AI, and then you want to do create a phone call. It's going to be right here, create a phone call. And then here for the info, you're going to want to put the number that you just purchased up here. And then you want it to 2 number. Here I'm actually going to delete it. It was hard-coded. So I'm going to make sure to do +1 here. And then find the number that is in my data from the lead form, which is right here. Click on full. So now that's dynamic. So from our number that we purchased to the number that we get from the Jotform. Key parameters. Now this is where I was talking about earlier for the dynamic variables. In my prompt, you'll see that I had an email and a first name. So I'm going to put these keys here, and then the value of that email is coming directly from the Jotform, and then the value for the first name is coming from the Jotform. So next here we have a Google Sheets add a row module. I did make a fake sheet here, so I'm going to pull this up over here. This was me previously testing with name, phone, call ID. The call ID, I'll get into that in just a minute here. That's going to be really important for the recording URL. I did have a typo up there, but that's supposed to say recording URL. So if we go back, here I'll show you, we have the first name, last name, email, and phone. This is all coming directly from the Jotform. I just hard-coded qualified here and hard-coded booking as yes, like confirmed. You could be doing a lot more stuff in your prompter in Make.com if you want to make things dynamic, but for the purpose of this video, I just said yes, qualified, and then our call ID, this one's in black because it's coming directly from this module here. So then we're getting the call ID there, and then we click on save. So we're all good to go on this here. Next, if we go back here to our webhook settings, we're going to want to paste this in right now here. Now here we have a basic webhook. We just create a webhook, copy the address, we paste it down here, save that. And then here we have a filter. So we're going to click on this, and this is going to be super important because this webhook is going to trigger twice. It's going to trigger once the call has started, and it's going to trigger once the call has ended. Now we don't actually care when it starts. We want to know the post data, right? We want to know what happens after the call is over, so we get the recording. So we want to add a filter that it only pass through once this equals ended. Click on save. So once this equals ended through this filter, I have a search rows module here. We have the same Google Sheet that we selected. It's going to be the same one. And under filter here, we want to put the call ID equals to, so yeah, we hard coded this actual column here, call ID. This is the column. And we want to make sure that it equals the actual ID from our webhook. That's it. We just click on save. Once it searches that, we're going to get the row number back. When then that row number, we want to find it to update it. So we have an update a row module here, same worksheet. Row number is going to be the row number from this module here. And then we scroll down to recording URL, and we grab the recording URL that is from our webhook directly. And just like that, everything should be set in place. So I'm going to make sure that this is on. I believe it's on here. So this one's good. This one, we're going to run it manually for now. We'll do wait for new data. And then we're going to go to our Jotform. We're just going to go back here and paste, put in some new info. I'll do a fake name for now. I'll do like Josh Smith. The last name, we're not really using the last name, so it's fine. I'm going to keep this email so I actually receive it. This is one of my spam emails, so I'm just going to put that in there so we can actually get the booking. And then I'll put in my actual phone number, but for privacy issues, I'm going to blur this out. So that is my phone number. Actually, I just realized I made a mistake. I'm going to go back here. This should probably not say qualified here. We'll just keep that empty. That's because that's coming directly from the form before the call happens. I'm going to click on save. I'm going to run this back. And I'm actually going to add that to this here. Update a row. Once it's updating from the post call, we'll just say, qualified here. Because if they're not qualified in the call, it won't even go down this path. Click on submit here. Now we should be getting a call in just a sec. Yes, we are. Click on accept.
Hello, Josh. It's Mary from company ABC. You showed some interest on our website. Just wanted to follow up and ask a few quick questions. Do you have 2 minutes?
Yep, I got 2 minutes.
Great. Thanks for your time. To start, roughly how many employees does your company have?
We have 15 right now.
Got it. Thank you. How are you currently handling IT support fully in-house, outsourced, or a mix of both?
Yeah, right now I'd say it's a mix of both.
Thanks for sharing. Lastly, do you have a monthly budget range allocated for IT services?
Probably like $5K a month.
Thanks for that information. Based on what you've shared, it sounds like we could be a good fit to help. Would you be available for a 30-minute call tomorrow or the next business day?
Yeah, tomorrow works. What do you got?
Let me check our availability for tomorrow and share some options with you. Tomorrow, we have availability at 10 a.m., 11:30 a.m., or 3:30 p.m. Do any of these times work for you?
Yeah, that last option works great.
Perfect. Just to confirm, schedule your appointment for tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Does that work for you?
Yep, that's perfect.
I'll book your appointment for tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Your appointment is all set for tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. I'll send you a calendar invite shortly. If you need to reschedule, just let us know. Thank you and take care. Goodbye.
Cool, bye. We can see the event, 30-minute meeting between Retell AI and Josh. That was the name I picked. Of course, there's number 2, my email, so I have him here. And then just some information about that. So we do have the booking done. That's nice. We also just got an email confirming this. And then if we go back to Google Sheets here, we can see our recording URL. If I click on this, now it downloads a file. And then this file is our entire conversation. Right here. So that is how we get the recording. We can also always add columns here for like the transcript. All the data that we get from after the call, all of that could be added to our sheets here. So Google Sheet or Airtable, you'll have everything in there. But yeah, I hope this was something simple for you guys to follow along. I did make a few mistakes here for the lead status and the booking. That should have been the same thing as qualified. That should have been after to confirm there was a booking, but I did have that for the Jotform. But once you play around and do a bunch of testing, you'll be a lot more comfortable with it. So thanks for making it till the end of the video. As you can see, we built a fully functional voice agent that requires absolutely zero coding skills. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video.